B. You have a few scenes where you have to slap Zhang Chao. Just slap him hard and be natural. Try to hit one time.
Don't worry, I will. Looks like she loves to hit you. No, I don't. He's too cute to slap in the face. I like to slap him on his butts.
Have to do it for real.
I think I missed.
That was too soft. Hit harder. One slap done.
I feel bad I have to hit him too many times. But no matter how many times I slapped him, he just smiled it off and told me it's okay, I'm okay, don't feel bad. You only see a few I slapped him softly, those I slapped too hard he almost fell backward, we couldn't show you. His face would turn so red and they have to touch up with makeup to cover it up.
You dodged before she even hits you. I didn't know which side she will hit.
I slapped him on his neck.
You dodged again, your instant reaction was you moved. When you pulled her arm, she yanked away from you. Pull her back and just stand still so she could hit you. I think you got scared and dodged again. For instance, you pull me in towards you, then just stand still and don't pull back. I can now easily slap you.
This is Zhang Chao very first movie since he just graduated from Beijing Contemporary Music Academy as one of their top student. The producer met with Zhang Chao at the graduation ceremony after his powerful farewell speech as a valedictorian student. Producer Steven told me this guy is a genius, I want to give him a chance to act as Si Cheng, I think he will be great. But I told him, Zhang Chao is way too young for me, he is actually 7 years younger than me. Producer had to ask the makeup artist to make him look much older than his age. But he is so handsome I have to give him a chance. After just a few scenes, we had so much chemistry. Everything just flow. In this movie, Nin Sang grew up in a broken family. Her parents were into alcohol, drug, and gambling. They owed so much money so they sold Nin Sang to a rich older guy. Nin Sang ran away from him and moved in with 3 of her childhood friends. The 4 of them became very close and claimed sisterhood. Nin Sang had to sleep with men to make money so she could help her parents. She met Si Cheng at the bar and they fall for each other and started dating. Nin Sang often get beat up by the men she sleeps with and also the rich guy always sent his men to look for Nin Sang. They also would beat Nin Sang when she has no money to pay him. Because she didn't want her sisters to find out what she does so she would tell them that Si Cheng beat her up instead. The sisters hated Si Cheng and would always push him away and say mean things to him whenever he comes looking for Nin Sang. Si Cheng loves Nin Sang and wanted to help but he doesn't have money. Nin Sang told him that her oldest sister Ms. Li is very rich but she feels embarrassed to ask for money. Si Cheng then went to her to borrow a large amount of money to pay off the debt to the rich guy that Nin Sang was supposed to marry. Even though Ms. Li hated Si Cheng, but because he's so handsome she couldn't resist but ask him to sleep with her if he wants the money. He had no choice but to sleep with her a few times. To Si Cheng he would rather sleeps with Ms. Li for money than to let Nin Sang sleeps with men and get beat up. But when Nin Sang found out she was so mad at Ms. Li and Si Cheng, she moved out and broke up with Si Cheng. Si Cheng begged her to run away with him but she refused. Nin Sang and Si Cheng often quarrel and that's why Nin Sang slaps Si Cheng so many times. Nin Sang later met a rich guy and started dating him. Si Cheng was hurt but he knew he could not give Nin Sang a good life so he decided to leave her alone. Si Cheng stole a large amount of money to pay her parents' debt off and bought Nin Sang a beautiful dress before he left. But then he was chased by the men he stole money and was beaten and killed by them. The whole time Nin Sang thought her new rich boyfriend paid off money for her parents and even thought the dress was bought by him. She ended up marrying the rich guy. Zhang Chao was so good playing Si Cheng that his character was so loved by fans and Zhang Chao became famous on his very first movie. He even won the Best Supporting Actor for his role as Si Cheng. Zhang Chao is a new actor but his professionalism is far beyond his age and far beyond other experienced actors. I'm really glad the producer chose him to play my boyfriend and I'm very glad Yang Mi and I became very close with Zhang Chao during filming. He is like our little brother. Whenever he gets a chance, he would cook for the whole crew to eat. He's such a great chef. His food is so delicious and we all loved it. There was one particular scene we filmed at the railroad track. Nin Sang and Si Cheng got on the train to run away from everything to start a new life. Before the train took off, Nin Sang jumped off the train and decided not to go with Si Cheng. Si Cheng ran after her and they started arguing. Nin Sang was hitting and pushing him away. That scene I was too much into my role, I accidentally pushed him too hard. Zhang Chao fell backward and his hand got pierced by some rusted nails hanging out from a piece of wood on the track that we didn't see. When the crew members ran over to help pick him up, they didn't know his hand was pinned down by the nails. They dragged him off and that scratched his hand even more. Zhang Chao was in a lot of pain and said don't move my hand. We then looked at his hand and realized it was pinned down by the nails. Blood was gushing out. They quickly called the ambulance and police. They had to saw that piece of wood from the railroad track and rushed him to the hospital nearby. Luckily it was the palm of his hand and no serious or permanent injury. Doctor got all the nails out, gave him some stitches and bandaged him up. I didn't go to the hospital with him but Yang Mi did. I was crying so the producer came over to talk to me. He said accident bound to happen while filming is normal. When it does, we all have to deal with it the best we could. Zhang Chao will be okay. Thank God it's not too serious. Just don't worry too much and finish filming this movie. When Zhang Chao came back, I hugged him so tight and told him I'm so sorry I pushed him too hard. I was crying on his shoulder, he just smiled and told me. I'm okay now, don't cry or else I will cry too. Don't make people call me a crybaby. We all started laughing again. We continue on with the movie but I told the director to delete that scene. I couldn't look at it again. I have a soft heart when it comes to things like this. That's why I couldn't come to the hospital with him as I know I would faint. We were even closer after that accident. Yang Mi and I often come over to his house when he cooks something good. Especially hot pot, he makes the best hot pot. Zhang Chao is very funny on and off set. He constantly smiling, laughing, and joking with everyone during breaks. I hope I have more chances to work with him in the future.
Zhang Chao, welcome you to our interview. First of all, Tiny Times is your very first movie. How do you feel when the producer personally handpicked you to play the role Si Cheng?
Thank you for having me here today. Many producers were invited to the graduation ceremony at the most prestigious performance art university. They came simply to look for young, newly grads, fresh face for a particular movie or future projects. I was giving my farewell speech and looking down, I saw all these producers giving me a thumb ups and clapping their hands. They gave me a boost of confidence and hopes. Sure enough, after the ceremony was over, as I was walking out with my family, some of the producers came over and handed me their business cards and told me to contact them. However, producer Steven stood out because he's the only one that handed me a script and told me to go home and read through it then come to his office the next day. That night I was too excited so I read the entire script and really liked the role of Si Cheng. I knew this is a great start for me and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I came to his office early in the morning to see him. Next thing I know, I signed the contract to play Si Cheng and show up to the film set that very same day. It was that fast, hey. Yes, it sure was fast and easy. The producer took me in and introduced me to the rest of the casts and crews. He called Ms. B. Hayden over and said, "This is Zhang Chao, your boyfriend Si Cheng in the movie." Ms. B. looked at me with a big question mark. She pulled producer Steven over and said, "He's too young for me. He looks like a teenager. Not mature enough for this role. Besides, he has no experience, I don't want to have to teach him every little thing. Please find someone else for me." I was feeling great coming in that day, then all of a sudden my mood went down and I felt hurt when she refused to work with me. But producer Steven told Ms. B, "Please have faith in me. I knew he is Si Cheng the minute I saw him. Just work with him first then talk to me later if you still feel he's not the right one. Got to give him a chance even if he is new." Ms. B then came over to me and said, "You are very good looking, I hope I could work with you. Don't let me down." She and I shook hands. In my mind, I was thinking, oh boy, this is not going to be easy. All eyes were on me when I started shooting. At the end of the day, Ms. B said to me, "Not bad kid." She grabbed my hand and walked me over to producer Steven and said, "I will keep him. He's a nice kid." Producer Steven said, "I watched your performance, not bad for a start. Keep it up." I was more confident after that first day. I just keep telling myself, whatever the director asks me to do, I just put in all my efforts, whatever the result is, at least I gave it my all. Of course, there is always room for improvement, but come on, I'm new, give me time to learn and progress. One thing about me, whatever I set my mind on, I will do or die to get it done. I don't say no or quit. Everyone know I'm a new actor, but I will prove to them I got what it takes fit in with those experienced actors. In this movie, you got slapped several times and got beat up by gang members a few times too. Were you afraid of getting hurt? I was willing to do whatever the director asked of me. Yes, Ms. B slapped me a lot and also a lot of retake because some of the slaps were too soft, some were too hard. The director wanted it to be just right. My face turned really red. It hurts but I can deal with it. One of the scene at the railroad track I was pushed by Ms. B and I fell backward. My hand was pinned by several rusted nails hanging out. It hurt so bad and lots of blood was gushing out but I had to remain calm and let the rescue team do their job to get me to the emergency room as quick as possible. That scene got cut out, There were a few fighting scenes. Too many guys jumped in and fight. One of the guy, not sure what he was holding in his hand, but when he punched me, he cuts my face, but luckily it was not a deep cut. No stitches were needed. Other than that, everything else went smoothly. I heard the producer and Ms. B praised that you were so professional, no complaint, no yelling or screaming from you. You remained calm the whole entire time you got injured. I can handle the pain quite well. Usually I remain calm and just take a deep breath and bite my teeth. No pain, no gain. Well, your first role and you got the Best Supporting Actor award. So worth it for getting hurt right. Yes, thank you. I am very happy. Thanks again for your time. Thank you.